caffeine. Well, with the bubble, have you been sitting around the house taking in way too much screen time and I dare say snacks or beverages? Wondering if you'll still fit into the summer clothes? Well, no worries, because my guest tonight will show you a way to enjoy your snacks and meals and never gain an ounce. This is true. In fact, you'll be more energetic, healthy, and in shape. And you'll do this eating fantastic East Coast food. And we know how to eat on this end of the country. Absolutely know what we're doing there. Well, you don't believe me? Well, stay tuned, because I'm going to rock your gourmet palate tonight with East Coast Keto. But before we start, I want to thank Samantha at Breakwater Books. They're offering us a free cookbook for one lucky viewer. So all you have to do is comment on the show and make sure you do it on this particular show so we can track it. And I have a little beverage here. Some of you who've been following me lately know I've been drinking celery juice once a day. It's part of a detox. Thought I would do it while I have time and increase the sales of celery in central Newfoundland. So cheers, we're going to get going. I'm just going to bring Bobby and Geoff up onto the screen right now, and you can all say hello. There they are.
Hello, everybody.
Hi. How are you doing?
We're doing fabulous.
You're out there in St. John's?
We are not. We're in Conception Bay South. There's a big difference.
Okay. To you?
Right?
There is a difference, and I'm sure you're very sensitive about it, because in here it's the East Coast, where all the rain and fog hangs out.
I would compare to saying you're from Grand Falls when you're actually
Grand Falls, Windsor.
Yes, exactly. You guys know the territory around here because you've been out here a bit. And why don't you remind us about what you were doing out here?
So, in my real life, outside of the keto world, I'm a Newfoundland artist. So we've been out there several times. We've done a whole bunch of paint events out there, paint and sip. And we also usually come out to sponsor the Perfectly Centered Culinary Festival. Yep. I think that the name changed. Yeah. So we love it out there. And further to that, boy, I used to spend a lot of time out there when I was a wee little young one. I used to hang down around Gately Street. So, perhaps we threw rocks at each other. Who knows?
It was one of our ways of communicating. I do remember that. I think I might have been in one of your classes one time out here. I was starting to put that together. I'm not sure, but we'll check on that after the show is over. Yeah, I have a feeling that I was, and it was a lot of fun. It was great. I'm pretty sure, quite sure. Now, guys, we are here to talk about that fantastic keto cookbook that you have created, and let's have a look at it. Beautiful East Coast Keto, gorgeous.
And this is where I throw out a great big thanks to the folks at Breakwater, because boy, I tell you what, they are a class act to deal with. This book, I mean, even just to touch it, I mean, it feels velvety. I mean, not only does it look good and act good and cook good, but it feels good.
Oh, you know what? Apparently there's a copy coming towards me. It didn't get here yet, but it should be here this week, and I can't wait. I've been looking at the online version that they sent me and feeling very hungry. The photographs and what you're creating is amazing. But maybe there's some people out there who don't know what keto is. I think maybe we should start by explaining that. So take it away, please.
Okay, so why don't I take this one? Yeah. So really, keto is going back to an ancestral way of eating. I mean, if you think the way not even our grandparents, but going way, way back to when they were out on the plains, there were no grocery stores, there were no cartons, there were no preservatives. Really, all we ate was a vegetable, a piece of meat, a piece of fish. We had the healthy fats that were in these animals, and we did quite well. Like we thrived on that.
Well, if you look at historically, I mean, these people would eat the fattier cuts, and the lean cuts they give to the dogs.
Right. So current day keto really means a whole bunch of different things to a whole bunch of people. But to anyone who is interested in a healthy, clean living aspect of keto, really it is a piece of meat. It's a healthy fat, and it's vegetable. So we're just cutting out all that white carby stuff that's on the side of the plate. And we like to tell our people that, I'm going to throw out a challenge to everyone that's watching out there now. The next time you do a bowl of rice or a potato, don't put any butter in or any salt or any flavoring. Just cook it up just as it is and sit down to eat it. And it's kind of going to just taste like wallpaper paste, because the flavor, that's the stuff that we still have. We just don't have that filler that gets down in your belly and blows
Right.
you.
That's all it is filler.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and for the most part, I eat that way. And I was super interested to have the opportunity to talk to you about the cookbook, because I thought, there's going to be some wonderful ideas in here to spice things up. And, we'll get into the recipes a little bit, but I'm really curious, like how did this start? You're not a chef, you're an artist. And Geoff, I think you're in tech.
I work in IT, yeah.
Yeah, and IT. So, of course, that's a very good background for becoming a keto cookbook author. I mean, what else would you do with that background? So, come on, tell me.
Well,
You know what? We've always been foodies, and when we got together, we're a fairly new couple. We're just together a little over 10
years.
Just over 10 years. When we got together, his recipes and my recipes kind of merged together and became one. And when we started this low carb keto lifestyle, we had no intention on websites or books or any of this stuff. And really what happened was, once the people in our lives started to kind of have a look and see there's something going on with Bobby and Geoff, what's happening there? We started to get a lot of people inquiring, what are you doing? How are you doing this? What are you eating? And we just were answering the questions over and over and over. So
why don't we make it easier to share this?
So we just started a little small group, just for myself and Geoff and a couple of our friends, and it was kind of like, you remember the old shampoo commercial from back years ago? They told two friends, and they told two friends,
Yeah.
and so on. And yeah, the next thing you know, here we are, and Keto Dog makes an appearance.
I know Keto Dog just voted. That was just a vote for your book, and yeah, and you even do keto food for your dogs as well.
You know what? The same principle. I mean, I think a lot of us have lost faith in the food industry, and it's even more so for our little fur babies, because as much as the Food and Drug watches over us, the government,
there's a lot less control over.
There's no control over the dog foods, and we just kind of lost faith in the system and said, okay, enough is enough. Now, that being said, we the same as with ourselves, we make sure we go to our doctor, her vet. We make sure that we're doing things properly. We're taking the supplements that we need, and
Mm-hmm.
It's just eating real food, and the same with the dogs. They're just eating real food.
Well, pretty much the same thing we did with our dogs. They may make a special appearance here at the end of this show. I wasn't going to have them out for the whole thing, but you guys are doing great with your pups there. But I think a lot of people today are confused. Hi, and who is this?
This is Isadora.
Isadora.
She's only a year old, and she is a bit of a mouthpiece, so we apologize in advance.
That's great. She's a happy dog.
She is
a very happy puppy.
And a fortunate one. A lot of people, I believe, are confused about what to eat, how to eat, where to find healthy food. And it's often been said that as you're making your way around the grocery store, just skip all those aisles in the middle and just make your circle around the outside. What's your take on that?
Well, it's funny, because most of the time we shop in what other people know as the health section. And, it kind of puts it in the back of your mind. If that's the health section, what's the rest of the store?
Now, that being said, there's a lot of product in the health section that we would consider.
Sure. Keto is always ingredients first, meaning that if it has the additives and if it has the preservatives, soy is another one that we watch. We try to avoid any grains, any starches, any sugars, obviously. But yeah, we pretty much stick to the outside of the grocery store. You know, we might have to go in the aisles for some laundry detergent or something like that. But I can remember the first time we made the leap from low carb to full keto. And
Mhm.
at that point was when we realized, okay, this is ingredients first. We have to check things. I'll tell you what, we went through the grocery store and it was almost like we were aliens from another planet because
From the
it was like,
planet Keto.
what is this ingredient? And so we tell our members, if it has an ingredients list like this, it doesn't really matter how many carbs are in there. It's what we would classify as a chemical
Bleep storm.
bleep storm. Uh, so you try to get back to as close to either no ingredients list or one or two items. I mean, ideally it would be again a piece of meat, a piece of fish.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, if you can't pronounce it, do you really want to be eating it?
Exactly.
I did the same thing you did. I was definitely looking for sugar content, and I'd pick things up and go, what do you mean there's sugar in this? Why is there sugar in this? I was shocked at how much sugar was actually added to our food.
Well, the thing about sugar, it's not just that white stuff in the bowl on the counter. There are over 60 different names, and some of these artificial sweeteners spike your blood glucose more than sugar does.
Mm-hmm.
Which
I've heard that about the diet pops and so on, that it does spike your glucose.
One of the ones that really frustrates me, and I hate to throw out a label, but I'm going to do it. Anyone out there who has a diabetic in your family, go check and see what they're using for a sweetener. If it is the yellow box, turn it around and look on the back of it, because you're going to find that even though it's recommended by your doctor because your beloved diabetic cannot have sugar, you're going to see that the first ingredient, the main thing in that box, the yellow box, is dextrose, which is sugar.
Which is sugar, yeah.
Now, how frustrating is that? Another one, if you have a box of white table salt in your cupboard, go check it. You're going to be surprised what the ingredients are.
more than just salt.
Yeah.
More than just salt. Wow.
If you remove all the hidden sugar from our grocery stores, 80% of the food is going to disappear. Now,
Baby formula.
Oh, I mean, I think a lot of us are tuning into this. A lot of us are getting very much in tune with this. We are attempting to clean up our diets, but you do need to think about this in an intelligent way. And, there are many, many resources out there for people. And obviously this cookbook is going to be one of the great ones. And I mean, you went keto and you caught on to this about the food and the additives. Well, where did the idea come to write a cookbook? That's a tremendously involved project, I would imagine.
Boy, I tell you what, we had no idea what we were getting in for, but we've been having so much fun. Talk about the whole isolation thing and everyone staying at home and working from home. We keep joking with each other. It's a good thing we like one another. Same thing within the kitchen. I mean, we would take our chili, for example, and we would make it. We found out a way to tweak it to make it keto. We posted it up, and the next thing you know, all of our people were like, "Oh my God, what is that? Can you give me the recipe?"
So we put a name on it and file it away as a recipe, and they just kept adding up, and it's like, we could do a book.
Ah, that's how it happened. Step by step.
Yeah. And again, the great people at Breakwater. I mean, they had a chat with us, and they were delighted with the concept, and
they knew how to do their part, because it's certainly an appealing book to look at. We posted some photographs that you sent me earlier of the meals and so on. They look amazing. I'm so hungry.
The foods are absolutely out of this world. I mean, one of our favorites would be the Newfoundland snowballs. We took my great grandmother's recipe and we just gave it a couple of little tweaks. And I'm one of those people. I'm half afraid Nan's hand is going to reach out and smack me from heaven, but I think they're better than hers. and absolutely everybody loves them.
Wow. And when you think of it, the Newfoundland food, traditionally, we do have a lot of meat and potatoes, heavy gravies. I've never had poutine. Listen, that is the truth. I've never eaten poutine in my whole life. And I lived in Moncton, New Brunswick for many years, and that was certainly an Acadian favorite. But it's just not something that appealed to me. But I mean, that's a very popular dish here as well. And Newfoundland, we haven't been held up as shining examples of health. It's often been said that we do have an overweight population here and many health concerns. But our traditional dishes are kind of made up like that. Maybe one time the lifestyle supported it. It doesn't seem to anymore. That's my thought. But, according to your cookbook, we can still eat these things. It's all in there.
There's so many different things. I mean, everybody has. You're going for takeout for a feed of chicken and chips. You're going to.
We got you covered.
Whatever chicken shack.
You want your Jigs dinner? We got you covered.
Yeah.
I keep saying to all of our members, there's no food that you can throw at me that I can't make keto. I remember we were out on a shopping excursion, and I had a wife or a husband of a member come up and chat with me, and he wasn't keto and had no intention. And he said, "I'll tell you what," he said, "if you can make me a orange dreamsicle cake that tastes like an orange dreamsicle, I'll go keto." It's on the website, and it's coming in book number 2.
All right, guys. If you're watching, throw your challenges out. They may end up in book number 2. Just write it down, send them in, and they'll do their magic on them. Okay, I'm going to try some recipes.
If we want a hamburger, we still have a hamburger. We just have it a little tiny different.
Yeah.
If we want pizza, we have an amazing pizza crust. We have French fries. We have deep fried fish. We have all the desserts that we would ever care to want to have.
Cookies.
Excuse me.
Oh,
I'm going to get an example. You're going to make this more mouth-watering.
Right. Yeah.
So you have to blame this on Geoff because it's totally him. So this is one of the recipes we have coming in our.
Okay, just move a bit to the side. You're a bit off camera there. There we go. Okay. All right. What is that?
Cookie.
So yeah, this is one of the recipes coming in our new cookbook, and our puppies are really coming to attention now. And basically what it is it's just a family chocolate chip recipe that's been passed down, and I'll tell you what, you could feed that to your biggest critics, and everyone is going to love it. They're going to be coming back looking for more.
It's like
wonderful. Squeeze. You guys said you love each other's company, so get a bit tight there. So excellent. I was losing you off the screen there, Bobby, and I didn't want to do that. But that's wonderful, and it's so great to have these recipes, and you've done all this wonderful work. So now, are there any myths we need to bust about keto? What do people say to you, and what kind of things are out there, misunderstandings perhaps about it?
Oh, there's a lot of bad information out there. I mean, the one that comes to the top of my head is that your body needs carbs. And no, it doesn't in any way. I mean, there are essential amino acids, which we get from our protein. There's essential fatty acids, which we get from our natural fats. There are 0 essential carbs. And now we love our veggies, don't get me wrong. But no essential carbs.
No essential carbs. It's not a starvation diet, but I've had a lot of people refer to it as a starve. I mean, yes, you're not eating as much, but you're not as hungry.
Well, you're just not eating the fillers.
Because we're not filling with fillers that have 0 nutritional value. I mean, there's no nutritional value in the carbs.
And the last one I'll throw out is it doesn't have to be high fat. A lot of people think that going into keto, we have a spigot here and we just, just bacon fat. Not at all. I would any day put what I eat up daily next to anyone in the standard or the Western diet. And I would say that we don't eat as much fat as what any of those people would be. We just eat different fats.
Yeah, that standard American diet is largely full of saturated fats,
Yeah.
or and vegetable fats, which are inflammatory.
Right. So yeah, a veggie oil wouldn't be keto. It isn't really even a veggie oil. What it is, it's a seed oil, and they use an extraction using high heat and chemicals, and because of what they put them through, it's no longer good for us. So yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I've been aware of that for a while. I've totally cut that out of my diet. I do use coconut oil.
Awesome.
Yeah, I like the pure organic virgin coconut oil. So, I mean, you do pick things up along the way if you have any interest at all in food and your health. And you mentioned inflammatory, and inflammation, I believe, is a cause of a lot of illness for people these days. And I think many illnesses can be tracked to inflammation in the body, and we could go deep in that area, but we won't tonight. I think you have some personal stories that perhaps you can share. And, how did keto change your lives? And maybe that's what everybody would like to hear.
I used to be diabetic.
I was on a quad dose of blood pressure medication. I was 8 years away from when my mom had her first heart attack. And I was like one of those little old ladies who had the pills, and I'd pop one every, And now with the help of our doctor and of course keto, we take nothing. I mean, we walk into our doctor's office now, and
she literally stands up and applauds.
And she says to us, it's unheard of in Newfoundland for a doctor to take people off medication, and here are you guys, rocking it. And the nice part is, if you go in there now and ask about, I want to get healthy or I want to get fit, they have a copy of this in their common room, in their doctor's common room, and they will go and take it and bring it out and say, go find these East Coast keto people. They will help you get healthy, and you're not feeling hungry. You're not, you don't have to cheat.
Well, add on to that, the whole cheat mentality should be thrown away. I mean, there's why would we want to?
Who are you cheating?
Go and have something that is going to be harmful when you can have a perfectly equal tasting, satisfying, even more satisfying treat.
Keto substitute. Yeah, and for us, that's the secret. It's you need to lose that Friday night, oh, I'm going to go have a cheat. Instead, what you want to do is put it in the back of your head, okay, I want to have a pizza. It's Friday night. Okay, let's go make a keto pizza. And you get to have your treat. It's not a cheat. You don't have any guilt. And boy, I tell you what, to be my age here now and not have food guilt, let me tell you what, that is empowering.
Yeah. Yeah. And so many people do have food guilt, women in particular, and body image issues and so on and so forth. It's the word diet. I think the word diet has been so misused, I'm going on a diet. That never works. We know that doesn't work. Depriving yourself of food and your body's starving, and at some point that's going to ricochet back in the other direction. Whereas I find keto and that method of eating is so satisfying. Like you said, you don't crave things. You have good energy, probably blood sugar levels are very even. And I guess, which maybe you've proven, Geoff, by the fact that you're no longer a diabetic. And I mean, that speaks so much.
Yeah, I'll take that for a week.
Unbelievable. A couple of times here, you've mentioned members. I'm curious, who are these members?
Sorry, we have a Facebook group of the same name, East Coast Keto. We are over 5,000 strong. We have members all over. They're mostly concentrated in the East Coast of Canada, primarily St. John's area, but we have members all over the world. And it's if you look at the whole world of Facebook, there's a lot of bad information out there. And I remember when we were starting and doing our research, you'd go to one and it would say something, and then you'd be something else. And
which is real.
And then of course you have the the people who like to have interactions kind of thing. So that was the reason why we another reason why we started our little group was that we wanted a place where we could share what we thought was the proper information, and get a message out to whoever wanted to listen that this is clean keto, this is what can happen. And really, at the end of the day, all the members get to decide how it fits in their life.
Yeah, we have a fabulous admin team spread all over the country.
Yeah.
Who are there to answer questions.
Thank you, boys.
Yeah.
And so, go ahead.
It's a thankless job other than knowing that you're helping somebody get healthy.
Whoops. I'm too enthusiastic here. My helpers have just arrived on the scene. This is Princess. Let me see if I can get the other one. Didn't mean to. Here, look, meet some of your keto friends. Uh-oh. That's a little growl. Where's Princess? There we go. Princess and Salty. Look. I don't think the screen, they definitely don't see it. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but they were very excited to get on here tonight. I promised them they could.
Family.
Yeah, they're the furry family, and they're going to try some keto too, because I know you've got some great ideas for pets. No, people can get your book. Well, check out Facebook if they want to get involved as members with you, and they can get their book anywhere online. I would assume Amazon, off of your website, perhaps anywhere else.
Breakwaterbooks.com right now has a great sale on. They have this beauty. And I think pretty much most of their inventory on for 50% off right now. So you'd ordinarily pay $34.95 for it, but 50% slash, I'm sold.
Yeah.
Also available in ebook format.
Right, and it is available in ebook, which is fabulous. But I want to back up to that whole health thing. We've had feedback from members. We've had ladies who was having difficulty getting pregnant, and all of a sudden they start keto, boom, they're pregnant. We've had people who were using walkers and canes, and through the help of ketogenic living, the reduction of inflammation, that they're now walking perfectly. People with all kinds of metabolic, diabetes, high blood pressure, migraines.
Shown to be beneficial for MS.
I am a lady of a certain age, and I was going through the stage where I was having hot flash after hot flash, and none of us like them. And I started keto, and I have not had one since. Thank you very much.
There you go. Yeah.
And I'm so glad of that.
Let thy food be thy medicine, and thy medicine be thy food.
Here,
Guys, this has gone very quickly. I've got to wrap. I'm going to remind everyone it's on the screen. Comment and win a copy. And this was fabulous. I'm so inspired. And I just want to thank you so much for being those inspiring role models for other people. I hope we reach lots of people with this show.
I hope so too. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thanks for having me.
You're most welcome. Have a great evening out there in Conception Bay. No?
You got it.
Got it? Okay. Good night.